Good day, welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Matsu Okpanam, and here are the headlines. Omosomo and Okpanam communities submerged as residents cry out for urgent government intervention. Bayelsa governor defects to APC. Don Jazzy refuses phobia for marriage. Saka sells ULC record in Arsenal's win against Slavia Prague. Now the news in detail. The devastating impact of flooding in Delta State has worsened, with Omosomo and Okpanam communities in Ughelli South local government area now completely submerged, leaving residents stranded and in dire need of help. Both riverine communities have been overrun by rising floodwaters, displacing hundreds of families and destroying homes, farmland, schools, and critical infrastructure. The situation has plunged the affected residents into severe hardship, with many now seeking refuge in neighboring towns and on higher grounds. Community leaders have described the disaster as tragic and unbearable, calling on Delta State government, the Ughelli South Local Government Council, State Emergency Management Agency, and the National Emergency Management Agency to swiftly intervene through emergency relief and rehabilitation support. In a dramatic political twist, Bayelsa State Governor Duye Duri has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC). The defection, announced at the Executive Council chamber of the Bayelsa Government House in Yenagoa, was witnessed by top APC leaders led by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Also in attendance were the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Governor Dakpo Abiodun Ogun, Lucky Ayewatiwa Ondo, Sheriff Oboyewori Delta, Hope Uzodinma Imo, and Umo Eno Akwa Ibom, amongst other dignitaries. Addressing the gathering, Governor Diri said his decision followed extensive consultations, formally announcing his resignation from the PDP. The governor's move received the endorsement of 23 members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Abraham Ngobere. Defection has sent shockwaves across the state, long considered a PDP stronghold, and marks one of the most significant realignments ahead of the 2027 general elections. The Federal Road Safety Corps, Delta State Sector Command, has vowed to clamp down on unapproved and unlicensed driving schools operating in the state. This resolution was reached during a strategic meeting held on November 3, 2025, between the Sector Commandant Corps Commandant Joyce N. Alexander and the driving school operators across the state. In her opening remarks, Alexander, who recently assumed duty as the new sector commander, expressed concern over the increased number of unapproved driving schools and unqualified instructors endangering public safety. She reaffirmed the FRSC's commitment to ensuring that only accredited institutions are permitted to train drivers in line with national standards. The driving school operators also raised concerns about the proliferation of unregistered training centers and the activities of individuals who pose as driving instructors without the required certification. They urged the FRSC to take decisive steps to restore order and professionalism to the sector. The Delta State House of Assembly Committee on Trade and Investment has fixed Tuesday, 11th November 2025, for a public hearing on a bill for a law to establish a new Delta State Gaming Board. The public hearing, scheduled to begin at 12 noon, will hold at the Press Center, Delta State House of Assembly Complex, Okpanam Road, Asaba. A statement endorsed by the chairman of the committee, Honorable Collins Ovie Egbetama, calls for inputs from relevant ministries, government agencies, gaming stakeholders, and members of the public. The statement particularly seeks written or oral contributions from ministries of trade and investment, finance, justice, the Delta State Investment Development Agency, Delta State Board of Internal Revenue Service, Delta State Sports Commission, and other interest groups involved in gaming operations in the state. It says all memorandum must be submitted in 20 copies and addressed to the Chairman, House Committee on Trade and Investment, marked Delta State Gaming Board Bill 2025, to reach the clerk of the committee, Mr. Oge Ogana, on or before Monday, 10th November 2025. However, the Delta State Gaming Board Bill 2025 seeks to repeal the Delta State Lotteries Board Law of 1976, Delta State Lotteries Law of 1990, Delta State Pools Betting Control and Taxation Law of 1996, and the Delta State Betting Duty of 1954. Now on the entertainment news. Maven record boss Don Jazzy has opened up about his fear of marriage, citing the financial implications of divorce as a major concern. The producer, in a conversation with Happy Forex, expressed reservations about tying the knot, stating that the thought of losing half of his hard-earned wealth in the event of divorce is a taunting prospect. He said his concerns stem from stories of men losing significant assets in divorce settlements, particularly those without prenuptial agreements. He revealed that he has dated in the past but is currently single and taking his time to find the right person. Now on the business news. Transnational Corporation plc has revealed that he has relocated 4 of its 8 turbines from Afam in Rivers State to Delta State to increase power generation following gas supply constraints. This was disclosed by the President Group Chief Executive Officer of Transcorp, Dr. Owen Omogafor, during the company's third-quarter investors' call on Tuesday, highlighting that the Transcorp Corporation plc is an indigenous conglomerate with investments in power, hospitality, and energy sectors of the economy. Omogafor added that both Transcorp Power and Transfarm Power will remain focused on increasing generating capacity in the fourth quarter, with the former Transcorp Power targeting 750 megawatts of available capacity. She explained that the move was aimed at boosting generation. Now on the foreign news. French President Emmanuel Macron has said that Iran has released 2 French nationals who were detained there for more than 3 years. Cecile Kohler, 41, and her partner, Jacques Paris, 72, have been released from Evin prison. Macron said on Tuesday, with France's foreign minister later confirming they were safe at the embassy in Tehran, ahead of their final release. The pair, who was arrested in May 2022 during a tourist trip, are believed to be the last French nationals held in Iran. Last month, they were found guilty of spying on behalf of both France and Israel and were handed lengthy prison sentences, according to Iranian state media reports. A number of Europeans have been held by Iran in recent years. France has accused Iran of state hostage-taking and keeping its nationals in conditions akin to torture. Sometimes Tehran has denied. Iran had said Kohler and Paris could be released as part of that agreement. Meanwhile, Mather, who has been held in France since February on charges of promoting terrorism on social media, was released conditionally by French authorities last month. Now on the sports news. Bukayo Saka set a new UEFA Champions League after helping Arsenal defeat home side Slavia Prague 3-0 in the Czech Republic on matchday 4th in the league phase on Tuesday. Saka was on target as he broke the deadlock on the 32nd minute from the penalty spot following a handball. The goal means Saka is the first Arsenal player to score in 4 consecutive UEFA Champions League away games. Heading into Tuesday's encounter, Saka has scored against Sporting Lisbon, Real Madrid, and Paris Saint-Germain. It was Arsenal's 4th straight win in competition and yet to concede a goal. Spanish midfielder Mikel Merino, who replaced the injured Victor Gores, backed the brace for the Gunners. Now a recap on our headlines. Omosomo and Okpanam communities submerged as residents cry out for urgent government intervention. Bayelsa governor defects to APC. Don Jazzy reveals his phobia for marriage. Saka sells ULC record in Arsenal's win against Slavia Prague. That's the news as edited by Timiala Emanuela. I am Matsu Okpanam. Thanks for watching.